Rue's safecracking has gone sideways. Maddie finally learns just how dangerous Alamo is. Cassie, of course, cries. And Nate makes a friend. All that and more in the next episode of Unbinged, starting now. Welcome to Unbinged, a podcast where we like to break down the movies and TV shows that you love to binge. I'm Sam Holt, of course, joined by Jagger and Matt Kopfhamer. Guys, we are talking everything on the latest episode of Euphoria. Jag, let's get that spoiler warning so we can jump right in.
We're about to spoil Euphoria, episode 7, and all of it, because it's almost done. So,
Nate dies. Spoiler. We're good. Let's jump right in. All right, guys. We've been watching Nate be literally pulled apart and into pieces all season long. And finally, he is trapped and buried in a box underground with one little hole so that a snake can get in. It was kind of all camera angles and everything was pointing to that happening. But I kind of was disappointed in the fact that we just saw all of it unfold right on camera. Kopf, you mentioned this right before we started recording. How do you feel?
Yeah, it was almost perfect. We get the reveal that Nate's in a fucking box under the ground, which you knew was coming as soon as Naz is like, "How tall are you? 6'5"? Okay." And so he gets buried in the ground.
We're gonna need a bigger
box. Thank you. Good Jaws reference. We see Nate's brother desperately trying to find him, and he's not able to. And then we get the little snake, the little rattlesnake come by. And it's like, cool, if you had done that tension-building scene of the snake slithering towards the hole and cut it off right when he gets to the hole. Just leave it ambiguous. Then the ending, when we find out that Nate is literally dead in the box, and Maddie and Cassie unbury him, that would have hit so much harder if we had not gotten the reveal earlier in the episode that Nate gets bitten in the face by the rattlesnake. You ruin all the tension you built up previously with that reveal, and then it ruins the ending reveal too. So, again, almost perfect until you fuck it up.
and I would have shown the snake, like when they first showed it, just rattling, not even going up. Like you don't even need that tension because they had some of these beautiful moments. And like Kopf, you wrote those in the notes. I'm like, yeah, it was heavy-handed, but like in a good way, where we see the dead snake, we see all these things. Like us who watch TV all the time, we would pick those up, but just for the casual user, that'd be something you go back and you'd be like, oh yeah, we knew he was gonna die the whole time, you know, just because. But like you showing the snake going into the hole, like that mother, you know he's gonna fucking die. Do you know anything about snakes? Do you know anything about snake culture? You know, Sam.
Do you know anything about snakes? Have you seen a snake before? My biggest issue with this was knowing that this is something that they're trying to do practically, that they wouldn't actually be able to put a rattlesnake in with Jacob Elordi. You know that they're going to have to change the snake. And my big issue is that the difference between a python and a rattlesnake, in my opinion,
vast.
Is very vast. It's so obvious. They could have gotten a smaller python, because if you watch the end clip where you see how they made the episode, and I do this because they could have tried harder, in my opinion. And I love reptiles for like a different like hobby. But for me, seeing a 6-foot boa constrictor essentially in there when you see a 3-foot rattlesnake on the outside, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, clearly that snake would not have fit down that pipe that you just showed us. So even the dynamics of it don't make sense. So I was really mad that we saw too much, because to your points, if we even just saw it kind of coming down the hole and then it cut to black, or we saw it start to, you know, coil up in a little fake rattlesnake on his chest and hearing the rattle, that's enough. I didn't need to see it strike. I didn't need to see it all along the side of him. I was so annoyed.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because I actually, Sam, I did watch the end of it. When they're like, well, we wanted to make it practical. And I'm like, yeah. And anyone who's ever seen a fucking rattlesnake in their life was like, yeah, that's not a rat. Because, like, when they showed it in there, and I'm like, did he just eat? Did the snake just eat?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was like, come on now.
The
like,
banding is different. The texture of the scales are different. Like, everything is different between these two types of snakes. So, like, I was mad.
And for context, guys, I know we're like really fixating on the snake thing to open up. I'm from Arkansas. We have every goddamn poisonous snake in America down here. Like, it is, when I say snake culture, it's like a thing. Like, I immediately was like, wow, you know nothing. You would die, Sam, and down here. But
Sam
regardless,
Levinson would die. I would not die.
Yeah, not you'd be
Sam.
safe. You'd be safe. Maybe, I don't know. You are from California.
And I wonder how much of this, though, is we can blame the showrunners for doing too much, showing too much, or how much of this is the culture around like second screening a show like Euphoria, where they have to, like we saw in Stranger Things, where it's like they had to spell out every plot point for the audience because they didn't have enough faith in the audience to pick up stuff unless it was spelled out directly. So I wonder if that's this to a certain extent, or this is just, Sam Levinson not trusting the audience to pick up on those context clues, or just not having the faith that he could pull it off. But again, having that answer in the middle of the episode and then having the reveal at the end be ruined by that reveal. He did it twice this episode. The first was when Rue walks up to Cassie's door and the gun, and then they replay that scene later from the other perspective. It does nothing, adds nothing to the story. No. And then with the snake reveal. So it's just indicative either of their direction in show running and not trusting the audience, or just not knowing when to cut a scene off to build that or keep that tension.
I feel like it's a little bit of the latter and a mess on the showrunner's part, because there's been so much heavy-handed metaphors and different things they've been trying to do. And if you think your audience is clever enough to pick up on everything else that you're trying to spell out message-wise, you don't need to do this direct to that we've been analyzing here. And I think that's one of the things where we've been analyzing this season, obviously every single week. And I feel like all of our criticisms have to do with show structure, writing, and just how they could have done this new direction for Euphoria in a better way, and where they've been falling short in each of those points.
I know for me, the heavy-handed, sometimes I think that Sam Levinson is trying to, like, all what you said about messaging, or not messaging, all their little, I guess, hidden messages in there. We want to, like, metaphors. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just trying too hard. They're trying way too hard. Where it almost got too meta. Where Sam Levinson, I feel like, wrote down his thought process and was like, this is the fucking Nate script. He's like, it's all a metaphor if you really think about it. That was just his conscious stream of thoughts that he wrote down. I think he accidentally hit Siri, and then he said that out loud, and then it ended up in his notes somehow, and then this is what we've gotten here so far. Because even the good parts, I feel like he ruins them. Just again, going back to the snake, there was so much there for that moment where we didn't need to actually see the snake, and we could have gotten a good reveal. And like Kopf, going back to your point about the second screen thing on here, where I'm almost starting to buy that narrative a little bit more, because even me, I'm the king second screener. That's actually my fourth screen. I have 3 monitors right here that I'm working on all the time. And I get that, but maybe you're pitching down to your audience, but HBO is not the type of platform for that. So it's just all weird.
I agree. HBO doesn't really feel like the place where we normally get that kind of being talked down to.
That's what Netflix is for. That's what Netflix is for, guys. Come on. HBO is supposed to be the prestige drama place where you go, you put your phone down and let it charge across the room so you're not tempted to pick it up while you watch what's unfolding. And it just feels weird and messy that continually, almost every episode, we get a scene where, like, damn, it would have been really good if you had stopped it 30 seconds, a minute sooner. But you just had to keep rolling the camera. And you ruin any tension you build up. You ruin any poignancy you want to make by doing too much. And like you said, Sam, that's indicative of this entire season. And I don't know if it's because we have slightly different writers in the room, or they just don't trust the audience. I don't know what the reason is, but it's really disappointing that we're getting like almost perfect scenes in an otherwise messy season, and it just falls apart when you don't do it right.
I mean, I'm curious, and now that like Nate's gone, we can firmly say that like his shit was shot in like 3 days. It's had to have been a week.
Separately from
we'll give it a week, essentially, but it was short in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, because he's only in 2, maybe 3 sets, and I'm assuming those sets are like on the same lot where he's in a desert and he's either at a wedding or inside with Cassie or in that whatever half-ass built stuff. So I don't. I wonder if the scheduling limitations made it to where we get kind of, I think I said this at one point, that Arrested Development season 4, where everyone is so huge, like, well, how do we get Michael Cera, Will Arnett, and Jason Bateman all together? It's like, cool, we'll just make like 6 plot lines and hope it works out. This kind of where we're at.
This is definitely giving that in terms of feeling all levels of chopped up. Any final thoughts? I was going to say, go ahead.
Sorry. So speaking of that, did you notice how Jules got regulated to a phone call that gets ignored by Marshawn Lynch this episode? So again, they get actors or actresses that they can't quite bring all together, so they have to kind of storyline-wise sideline them. And so after last week with Jules, she literally gets regulated to just a name on a phone screen.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious if in the finale with Jules, we actually get another separate entire scene that doesn't include any of the main cast because of the scheduling and because of all of that. I think we end up seeing the other side of why that phone call was maybe placed or something like that. But it doesn't feel like it's going to end up adding anything to the story as a whole either.
Yep. I don't know. I'm sorry, Sam. I was going to say, you brought up Jules. I'm like, there's a whole episode on Jules. I don't even want it. I don't know that there is. This was just speculating. Context for where she's been since high school, but that's about it.
Yeah. Other than in retrospect, this being the penultimate episode, looking back at what Jules has done this season, it's like, what was the point of any of that? Other than having Rue be sad because the girl she loved in high school doesn't love her back now. Yeah.
I feel like that's going to end up being the title of the finale episode of our review, is like, what was the point of all of this?
Just to see how everyone ended up. Everyone keeps saying it, but like the boys, people are like, well, this last season could have been an email. That is reductive. I don't believe that. Euphoria, it might be, dog. Like, Euphoria feels like they gave a whole season to an 80s movie where they're like, Nate ended up a piece of shit who died by a snake. Maddie ended up selling herself and her business as, like, the top madam for Alamo. Like, just with, like, a still shot of what happened to everybody at the end of the movie. This is 8 episodes of that, so.
Yeah, that's actually perfect. All right, guys. Before we jump into the rest of this episode, I want to thank everyone who has liked, subscribed, followed. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. We've been bringing you Euphoria every single Monday. We're bringing this episode to all of our viewers, and next week, the finale, we'll be bringing to everyone as well. But make sure you guys subscribe if you want to be one of our premium bingers for all the special content we'd like to give you over there. We've covered The Boys finale, series finale. We've got trending Tuesday topics coming up on Tuesdays. And then we've got Widow's Bay that we're covering, which has been incredibly fun. So make sure you tune in for that. Your Friends and Neighbors. We've got House of Dragon coming as well. And please let us know if you want us to cover Cape Fear. That's one that's kind of trending and we're thinking that you guys might want us to cover. So with all of that said, let's get back to Rue and the Nazis, which is a lovely summary of how she views Laurie's crew. There's so many different parts of this. Kopf, you're already rolling your eyes. Do we have to? It's Rue's plotline, so we do have to go into some of it. It gets messy, and it feels just so unnecessary how they're trying to build the tension to go into the finale with Rue. The shortest version of this season is she needs to go and get the money back from Laurie, and her best way to do that is to go and break into the safe and try and get back in. That's all she's trying to do, right? You're already shaking your head at me.
It wasn't the money. Yeah, sorry, it wasn't money. Alamo's been very clear about that.
What does he want? It was the drugs?
It was like his. For whatever reason, he kept all his secret business dealings and evidence of his like trafficking in the safe in the strip club at the Silver Slipper. So
yeah, so that's what's all taken. And
when she pulls up like the IDs of like Angel and all these other girls, those are girls that he had disappeared and trafficked. So yeah, there's that, and that was the big sticking point with Faye. There's no money. So you lied to me, Rue. You said there was money. Now I'm gonna scream for Wayne, and you're gonna get hogtied, and we're gonna see some disturbing shit. Yeah.
I promise I'm gonna go back to Rue. Why is Faye alive, man? Like,
why is Wayne alive? He should have been smothered at birth.
Well, Wayne, I get, man. He's an antagonist. He's Jesse Plemons in the last season of Breaking Bad. Whatever. I get it. Faye is just. environmental damage seems to be light. She's just a fucking problem. She was a problem for Fez, and she's a problem now. Like, what? I just, she's probably one of the most annoying characters in history. She's annoying to fucking look at with them lips. She's annoying because she contributes nothing. She thought a fucking a butterfly was on her back, but it's. I think it's worse that it's even just a small Nazi symbol. That's just bad tattoo placement. You know, like that's not even a good Nazi tattoo. If you're going to get a swastika, you know, like there's so much to hate.
Swastika tramp stamp, not your thing, Jag.
Everything is bad about it.
He's seen it too much where he lives already. He's like, this is nothing new. Get more creative.
I've seen some elaborate swastikas, guys, and I'm telling you, your guy didn't even try. Like, that shading trash.
Oh, God.
I know.
When he tells Faye the story of the SS officers I was like, oh, this is just the Kingsman. Like, you're just ripping off the Kingsman.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the Kingsman ripped off Nazis. That's actually a real thing. Yeah, it's a real thing.
Still, besides the point, do we need that story? Like, it feels like every time Sam Levinson focuses on the fucking dirtbag rednecks, it's like, you guys know they're Nazis, right? Like, Nazis. The swastika on the wall, Nazi. They're all Nazis. Like,
Did you see the symbol? Nazi.
It's like, Jesus, I get the fucking point. Like, we don't need to keep doing this every episode. Like, I get it. They're fucking bad people. They're Nazis. Move on. Like, come on.
I think it goes back to what we were just saying.
Dragging it out.
The heavy-handedness with how they're hitting certain points, and others where they're like, we're going to sprinkle that in and see if they noticed. And then later, did you notice what we did over there? Like, they're just like kind of aggressive about it.
Yeah. Sam Levinson is that meme of like Willem Dafoe sitting in front of the painting of himself, you know, or like that's kind of what he does. Like you totally nailed it. Like this homie will make a layup, or then he'll be like, woo, you know, like flexing on people. You know?
Like, bro, you're still down 60 points. Doesn't matter. I fucking scored.
It's like, you see what I just did, bro? Like, built different.
It was the Michael Scott doing a slam dunk and then Daryl adjusting the hoop to actually be at regulation height. It's like, okay, now can we get back to our regular scheduled programming? God. No, but just going into, again, building up into this scene and Rue going and saying to Lori, like, Rue's big plan is to pretend that Alamo beat her up. First of all, hilarious that she asks Marshawn Lynch to punch her. Just punch me.
Smartest thing she's ever done, I think. That was actually kind of smart.
His response
was kind of perfect, though.
And then her knock you out.
I'll just knock you out. No, we've been sitting here for hours doing nothing. That was kind of amazing. But then her solution to just bash her own face in on the car was kind of classic Rue. And then going to Lori and pretending that Alamo tried to kill her. This is where the plan just doesn't make sense after a while. It's like, okay, well, you've already kind of double-crossed them so many times, Rue. Why would you think that they'd welcome you with open arms? Oh, so sorry, baby girl, you got hurt. Like, we'll take care of you. Like, I don't know how she expected that to go.
She didn't expect it to go. She just hoped for the best. Like, she was just running on fucking fumes and trying to be fucking lucky.
Classic
vibes. Just pure vibes.
There it is.
And to be fair, that is part of the writing and how everything and Sam did write that into there where they're just like, so you thought you'd just come back. It was like, you lied to us, you did all this. Like, her stupidity is very canon, I guess. It's everyone else's stupidity I think I have an issue with, you know, like I know we have the whole crackhead situation and Nazis. I will say they are consistent. I don't have a problem by how they're acting. How they're acting wrong and stupid? Yeah, but they're Nazis. You know, that's like they're the modern Nazi. That makes sense. Yeah. I will say, and not to, I guess we are. I kind of want to talk about the Armenian. Homie deserved to go out like that, dog.
Oh,
like,
sure.
What the, like he kind of went stupid at the end to where he's just like, all right, I'm gonna cut up Nate and I'm going to threaten Cassie. Then I'm going to threaten Cassie. And now I'm going to threaten a TV exec. Like, what are you going to do? Like, what was your end game? Threaten up to, like, he's equivalent of asking for a manager, but that manager eventually is going to be the fucking police. Yeah. Like, he didn't keep any of his shit. He didn't handle his shit properly, if that makes sense. my other thing. And maybe this is written into it as well. Maybe I never want to give Sam Levinson too much credit, but Alamo's dialogue where he's just like, nothing ever stays dead. So you're going to shoot an Armenian with zero fucking consequence either? Like,
and then you left at least we assume he left the goon alive, Artur, or whatever his name is.
Artur.
So, yeah. So unless you killed him immediately after they unbury Nate, that motherfucker's going to go back and be like, hey guys, so Naz is dead. We got to go after this guy.
Yeah.
Alamo, he's a black cowboy. You know.
Oh, that guy. We've all heard of him.
Most conspicuous motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
The guy that wears spurs in the middle of downtown LA. Yeah, I know that guy. Like, what are we doing?
He's got a
own silver slipper. The silver slipper, right? Like, yeah.
The guy that we know is obviously trafficking women. Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all just are very aware. No, that guy had it coming for sure. But I think, so going into, because you already talked about Faye and how we've ended the episode with her kind of blowing the whistle on Rue. And this is why I think I was so fixated on the money to begin the show before we got into the licenses and stuff. The licenses is why Alamo wanted it back. Rue wanted it back because of the money, and Faye wanted it back because of the money. And I think both of them had so much placed on there being money in here that they could start new lives with, that it was such an escape that's why you just watch Faye panic and think, well, if there's no money for me to get away from this guy, I can't do wrong by this guy, so I'm going to pretend to be the good one here for him. And then that's why she's obviously, getting Rue in trouble for breaking into the safe. It's just cowardly. It's messy. How did you guys feel about even that
also
level?
Short-sighted.
Yeah.
All of it was short-sighted. On Rue's end, too. Again, Rue is written stupid. She was built dumb.
But at least that's consistent, like you mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. I can't complain about Rue being a crash out because like she's been one from day one. But like Rue's immediate thought is, I'm going to steal this money out of a safe and not, maybe I should just fucking leave. Like
she should have fucking killed Wayne is what she should have done. If he's the only one protecting that safe, you stab him in the neck and then you take what you need and you dip.
Koff, you and I, Sam, we could handle that task. Rue is at least smart enough to know that I can fuck this up. Like she could like you are right, but she would fuck it up. She would fuck that up. If someone comes in there, it's like, hey, you need to get the fuck out because they need to kill you. We're not going to steal money. We're just going to leave. Maybe kill Faye. Like it was short sighted, and it just shows how much she's a coward. If she has money, she can figure shit out, fly away. They're Nazis, but they're not going to hunt her ass down in Amsterdam or something like that if she would fly away,
But her big plan is to go back to Texas, where she believes the promised land is. That doesn't even feel far enough away or big enough of a plan for her.
No Nazis in Texas.
Oh, that's totally safe. Like, obviously, she'll be fine. There's no human trafficking there. There's no any drugs. There's nothing. It's completely free and safe in Texas. That also was kind of annoying. And then this is why I'm getting so annoyed by the writing here too, because then you get this heavy-handedness on one side, and then you get what should feel like a light layer of the story that Rue gives to Ali is this one of Moses, and then later he says, that Moses never made it to the promised land. And so Rue's got this whole idea where she's going to be able to be safe because everything else has gone her way. The DEA, she's in their good graces. Everything's going to be fine. They're going to get arrested. And then I'm going to be able to go off and do whatever I want. And then it's like, well, even the parable that you're trying to make here, this character didn't even make it there. So what makes you think you're going to make it there?
To answer your question, Sam, Rue's just fucking stupid, and she found religion. And I know this is like, I'm not saying that religious people are stupid. I'm just saying that don't do that, Koff. Don't do that. No.
I'm kidding.
Safe space.
Yeah. I do think that a lot of stupid people can cling on to religion because it's easy, and I'm not, and they are generally the type of people who make religious people look the worst because they're doing what Rue's doing. It's like, well, I'm Moses. Like, well, Moses fucking died, man. Like once you get past Exodus in the audiobook, like, come talk to me. We'll see how that story, like, we'll learn about Aaron and the Levites and Leviticus, and then we like fucking break this shit down. Actually, I've read the Bible, folks, and a lot about it. It's nuts to me. And it goes back to like Lexi. Lexi's only job in this was to be kind of fucking terrible. To be fair, Lexi deserves to be a bitch to all these people. Like, was it very inconvenient for everybody, including me as a viewer? Yes. But she deserved to have that moment, because if Rue is saying that, like, I saw Jesus, or God spoke to me through a burning tree, I'm like, all right, nigga, I gotta work. Like, I probably would have responded just like that. And then you bring up the DEA stuff. It's really hard for me to feel bad. It's really hard for me to feel bad for Rue, man. It's kind of hard for me.
Yeah. It's sad that Lexi's first reaction and response is you're using again. But that's completely on Rue, because her entire history has shown that every time she starts speaking crazy, she starts doing shit crazy, she's back on drugs. So Lexi comes from a place of knowledge. This is not the first time she has seen Rue spiral out, and it's because of drugs. Unfortunately for Rue, this just happens to be not because she's taking drugs, but because she's smuggling drugs. But yeah, Lexi deserves to crash out on every single person on this show, because she has tried to be the bigger person, the better person the entire time. And now it's all coming to a head where her sister does the wrong thing in her opinion, and she gets all these opportunities. Her best friend is a crackhead who is talking about smuggling drugs across the border and
seeing Jesus,
being employed by Nazis and black cowboys and the DEA. Yes. And her other best friend is her sister's pimp. So yeah, I would be crashing out too if I was Lexi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, that's what I'm saying. Like, cause like, Kopf, I saw in your notes that you're like, she's being a bad friend. And like, from Rue's perspective, 100%. But like, if you, because it like, and this was a good point of view, and this was good writing. Like, Sam can write, he just like doesn't sometimes. Is like, we saw everything from Rue's perspective, and we're like, fuck Lexi, and then Rue's monologue at the end, it's like, she's like, I lied so much that even when I'm telling the truth, people don't believe me. Then you're like, yeah, I can see where Lexi comes from. It's like, if you randomly came up to me and like you sound stressed out and like you're going from I saw a burning tree to like I'm working with the DEA even though I'm a known crackhead.
Pee in this cup, please.
Yeah, 100%. Like what size grippy socks you wear, girlfriend?
Yeah. Funny. All right, I think I want to start to try the thread back to the other characters. We do have to get to everybody. This episode had literally everyone except for Jules just on a phone call. The last thing that we got that you guys already touched on was that Rue tells Lexi that she's working with the DEA, which why Rue would even say it out loud to other people kind of goes into the dumbness of her character, I'm sure is where you guys are going to go with this. But then that goes from Lexi to Maddie, and Maddie says it in the middle of the hot tub with Alamo. And you just watch that little light in his eye go, aha. That's definitely going to be the next level.
Say more, please.
Yes, please say more while I hold your toes in a menacing way. Yeah, not terrifying at all. We get all of this going back to Maddie with Alamo, and Maddie realizing and having those moments where you're watching her face fall and change as she's realizing just how dangerous of a man Alamo is throughout this episode.
Which I want to give, it's weird to say this, I want to give Sam Levinson credit for not showing Alamo and Maddie doing the deed, is what I assumed happened after he was like, come here, baby girl.
I still don't. I still didn't assume it happened. I think they're just like, he's just some tub time.
Interesting, because
I don't give Sam credit. I think that's what it is.
Okay, fair enough. Because previously we'd seen it with Kitty when he breaks in Kitty as a new girl. So it seems to be his playbook of like he's got to try out the new girl before he does work with them. And so for them to cut that scene off where it is and leave it ambiguous, I was like, cool. Thank you for not being too gratuitous in this one instance. But maybe you're right. Maybe it was because nothing happened and we're going to get later on a scene of something.
I have an opinion on that. I don't know if I should say it.
I think you should because it's a podcast.
Fair. That's the whole point of doing this. I feel like it wasn't gratuitous and he didn't show it because it is Maddie and because it's not Cassie's character or Kitty's character. And I think that Sam Levinson has a very clear and obvious thing for blondes and wanting to see them in a certain light. And he just didn't have the time or the thought to go that far with Maddie.
You know what? That's valid. And I think I agree with that, Reed.
Just
That's
based on
nuts,
how
'cause
much
like,
Cassie we saw this season, and how he's handled things for other characters in previous seasons, he's like, oh, he didn't want to see it because that's not what he's interested in seeing, and that's why he didn't show it.
if I was Sam Levinson and like Tarantino perverted about it, I'm like the opposite of that. You know, like Sam Levinson is the opposite
Sure,
of me.
everything
Right?
but what you like. So that way
No.
people can't guess.
Fuck no. I'm just saying that I'd be like, okay, cool, more Maddie. Yes, Sydney, we love that. Let's just move away. You know, it doesn't even make sense to me. That thought that because I thought you were gonna say that it's because it's Maddie and Maddie would just never allow that. You know, even though like she's like, I'll let him. You know. You take this little piggy to the market, but you know that's just so I can get my real bag, which is Cassie. You know, that's what I took from it. But
Sure.
Hearing that whole other perspective is very interesting, and that means you think low of Sam, and I love it, of the other Sam, not you.
Yeah, no, I think I'm just fine. Sam Levinson, I don't think very highly of. But also just in the way that you watch the camera move across different characters and the time and the slow motion pans that we get on Cassie compared to other moments where he could make the argument to do the same thing to some of these other characters that are being objectified, that are putting themselves in very dangerous situations where they're like Maddie's out there in the middle of the night with a bag of money, with 2 cars, having headlights on her. And the pan up on Maddie is so fast, and the looks that she gets are so fast, and she's literally in one of the most vulnerable positions you could be, and the amount of time spent on her camera wise is so minimal. Like
It doesn't
it just to me
linger
shows it.
like
It doesn't
it does on
linger the
Sydney.
same way that
Yeah.
it does across Cassie.
You're right.
Cassie runs to go answer the door, and we're getting, every single shot that we don't need to see of her.
And to be fair, I watched this. You know, like I make all the thumbnails for Euphoria, and to give you guys a little bit of peek behind the curtain here, I've really told in the group chat, this feels gross that I have to make every thumbnail of Sydney Sweeney because she's the only one who has like the way that we design our thumbnails. She's the only one who has nice bright images of her that I can like show. Everyone of Rue. To be fair, she always is in dark and dungy places doing bad shit. But
Yeah.
like almost anyone
Usually covered in
else,
grime or blood.
exactly. Like to be fair, that is part of her character. But this is an ensemble cast. Last time I checked, and I can't get anything on anyone else. So that's a very interesting perspective. So
Yeah.
thank you. Guess what? Sam Levinson's a pervert. Who would have thought?
Who would have known? Took this part of season 3 to be like, and that's where we're at. But I feel like I knew that a lot earlier on. But anyways, I just wanted to, because we're kind of leaving off on Rue and going to talk about the rest of the characters. We know going into the next episode that Alamo is aware that Rue is dealing with the DEA. So we're going to get that bomb to go through. Kopf, how do you feel about that leading us into the finale?
Not good. I mean, it feels like it's gonna blow up in everyone's face. There was one line from the DEA that made me especially worried. Is like they're talking about what's gonna happen. They're letting the truck through. They're gonna get him on the way back. And he's like, "Let's execute like we know we can." I'm like, "Ooh, I don't like how law enforcement agency said that because that feels like it's gonna be something goes horribly awry." And my guess is that Kitty and or the other girl with her in the back of the van are going to be collateral damage, and somebody's going to get shot that's not supposed to get shot.
Someone's going to get shot. Yeah, I don't think it's going to go well. Jag, is that pretty much the read you got as well?
Yeah, it's not like I'm at a point now where I don't think nothing is going to go well from anyone here, and I feel like we've just been bashing the writer and creator, but when you throw your name on everything, it's very easy to point blame. But like, I got dread, not for like a character dread, but like dread that the whole lesson that we got from this is that all women are eventually going to work for some fucking sleazebag like Alamo. Like that literally, or die. And that's basically every character.
It's either they're going to work for a sleazebag, die, or be the sleazebag themselves, as we saw with Alamo's flashback to his mom.
Yeah.
So it's very much... You mentioned another show, like Your Friends and Neighbors, feeling very misogynistic. This feels very misogynistic in a bad way. This feels like I got a bone to pick with one woman, and it's every woman's problem now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Messy. All right, let's talk about Cassie, because we have to. We get a ton of Cassie in this episode where she's crashing out because she deleted her OnlyFans and because she can't get it back on her own. And then she's crashing out because she obviously needs to get the money back. She did deserve, I think, to get hit by Maddie in that scene when she's realizing just how much trouble she's put her in. And then Maddie has to go out and try to solve the problem for her. Which part of me feels like, why did Maddie even go through that? I know that she's looking at Cassie now as like this money tree is kind of what she keeps calling her, a cash cow.
I love it. Actually, it's true though.
She is treating her that way, and I get it, but like, I feel like there's just other people out there. Like, if I were Maddie, I'd be like, okay, you've literally shown me, and even in the speech she gives to Cassie, like when people show you who they are, like believe them.
Believe them.
Cassie has continued to show Maddie exactly who she is, and Maddie believes it, but is like, thinks she can still somehow change it or take advantage of the situation. And that's where I'm just like, oh, Maddie, she's too smart for this. Did you guys feel that too?
Yeah, as soon as Cassie's like, I need to tell you the truth, and then once you tell her about Nate, if I'm Maddie, I'm going, I'm out. Fuck you. You're on your goddamn own. I got
Literally.
2 other girls in Alamo that I'm working with to bring them up. Which what happened to that plan? Why aren't you falling back on that plan instead of putting yourselves into $1 million debt to Alamo, and now he gets 20% of all future, like, Maddie, I thought we were smarter than this.
And that's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot.
So that's a life right there. You just sold your life.
That's straight up extortion is what that is. The fact that Maddie is allowing Cassie to dig her fucking claws back into her life, inadvertently or not, you're smarter than that, Maddie. Like, why would you allow yourself at this point to get dragged into that fucking nonsense?
Yeah.
And this is a lesson for... Yeah, so this is a lesson for everybody. Men, female, whatever you're into. There are plenty of pretty people out there. Like Sam, you actually both of you said this. Like, just get another girl, man. That was all you. You told her what to do. Yeah, like that was your work. You just, and I don't know how to talk about this. This is weird. I'm not saying that Cassie didn't do anything or has no skill, but like, I kind of feel like she has no skill, you know? Like anybody can do what she does. So I don't know. It is very confusing. And this episode did show that Maddie is a boss, but still inexperienced in this world that Rue has been in for a while. Because I would never mention the DA even as a joke around someone like Alamo. I would never bring that, like, DA, FBI, police. You're not making jokes around these people. No. They're paranoid. To say that throwaway comment, you should have known that you put even Lexi in danger at that point by bringing that up. And like, not only was Rue was dumb, Maddie was inexperienced for saying that. And then it just showed it, and even Alamo said it. It's like, do you think I was going to do this for free just because it cost me no money? Like, that's
just
like,
because I like you.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. What did you think was going to happen, Maddie?
Yeah. No.
And like you said, that's Maddie being inexperienced, thinking she knows more than she does in that moment, and then the reality slapping her cold across the face like she did to Cassie earlier. And it's like, oh, damn it. I didn't expect to go this way. Well, that's what Rue was trying to warn you about, and you were like, I got this.
God, so brutal. Yeah, and then we get Cassie, extorting a celebrity for followers, and she's getting all of that. She's getting the money back, and this is where it kind of goes back to Nas, and where I'm so confused. If Nate keeps saying, oh, she's going to bring home the money, and you know what she's doing, why would you throw her body through a glass table when that's how she's making her money? It also didn't make any sense to me. Just
violence against women. Feels like a very Sam Levinson thing. But you're right. That doesn't make sense from if you're expecting her to use her body to make you money, you don't want to damage the product, which...
Yeah, or even just threatening, I'm going to cut up her face. It's like, okay, why would... It doesn't even make
Where's
sense
your
to
leverage?
go there.
And it
Where's
goes
your
back
leverage?
to what I was saying in the beginning. The whole problem is, like, these are civilians. Like, you can't kidnap civilians willy-nilly and expect... You can't kidnap famous civilians willy-nilly. Like, that's just not how crime works. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like Sam clearly sounds like a dude who has never actually experienced or understand how crime works. Rue you could snatch up. Rue is not a civilian anymore. She's not like... And guys, when I mean civilian is like, this is how crime works. Like, people who are in the underground, that's a whole life. They're not going to fuck with the GameStop employee unless the GameStop employee gives them a reason to fuck with it, because that's messy. Like, the whole the narrative that people are like, well, I don't want to go to Mexico because cartels will snatch me up. You know how bad for business it is snatching up white people? It's terrible. You guys tend to make a stink
Then the
about
police
it.
get involved.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
that's just not true at all. Like, they don't. It's bad for business to hurt civilians for crime. That's just that's a fact.
Yeah. It's bad business to hurt civilians. It's just, yeah. And I think that just goes to me towards talking about the writing and how they're building these characters and the things that just don't make sense anymore. That just feel messy. And now at this point, because this is the second to last episode, feeling rushed to get to what's supposed to be a very long finale. So I don't know. I feel very exhausted by the Cassie arc.
This is a tired Sam. I feel it like this. I've never seen you. Only when you and I did that terrible fucking Peaky Blinders movie have I seen you like so
Annoyed.
like a wilted flower. You're just like a wilted flower.
It's just hard to talk about a show where I'm watching it. I'm like, why am I watching this still? Like, I don't want to be watching it. I'm only watching it because it's homework and
We love you guys.
this is for you guys. So hope you're enjoying my torment.
So something that I'm wondering, is Lexi going to get any kickback or splashback from what they did to Dylan? Cassie and Maddie very obviously manipulated him, fucked with his public image. He is still a cast member on the show that Lexi works for. And now we know that Lexi is connected both to Cassie and Maddie, and her boss knows that. So how much longer? You did a great job in that scene that you wrote, but your sister's a fucking problem. You're now a problem. Get the fuck out. So I could see this coming back on Lexi, her losing her job, and then she crashes out on everyone. And what does that look like? What does a Lexi crash out look like? So I wonder if that's going to be a big chunk of the finale. And if
Hanging
she
up on people.
inadvertently...
Just hanging up, just like I
She's
don't.
probably doing porn again. Hang up. Like,
So I wonder if we're going to get a scene of Lexi getting caught up in all the mess that's going on with everyone around her, and then she ends up getting hurt. And it's like, oh, the innocent one is the one that pays for everyone else's bullshit. If that's going to be
I
a
could kinda
heavy-handed
see that.
metaphor.
because she could also walk into a room because she's only dealing with the problems that she's fully aware of, and everything that she's heard from Rue, she doesn't believe anyways. She doesn't understand what her sister's doing, and she hasn't even seen the fact that her sister was essentially kidnapped as well. So she has no idea the levels of things that everyone's been going through. So I could imagine her walking into a room, guns a-blazing, mad at everyone, and it's like a Spider-Man thing where she walks in and it's like everyone's got guns on everyone, and she's like, oh, my problem's not the biggest problem here.
Or like because I've dealing with this in my family. I really understand where Lexi is at, because I've asked this to like people. I'm like, I don't even understand your problems. How do I have these problems? How do I put myself in position to have these problems? Like, have you ever talked to a crackhead about their problems? I'm like, buddy, I'm trying to make sure my dog doesn't piss on the floor. That's my big thing right now. Is just like how do I keep the pee off the hardwood? That's about it. You know, like it.
That's
and
the
I guess
fun part, Jag. You don't.
You don't. You don't. You know. And I'm not saying I don't have real problems. I do, but like my real problems are like, I have a job. I have an actual real life job, and how to like my family member has cancer. Like, you have real life problems that come at you that you have to deal with. Not that like, ooh, am I gonna accidentally get trafficked? Because like women actually have to deal with that problem just shopping at a fucking Buc-ee's or some gas station or something.
Yeah.
But like people like Rue, that's like every day, like you're putting yourself in that position. That's hard for me to even put myself in that mindset. I haven't done actual real crime since I was like fucking 20 years old. I don't have, I buy weed from a fucking store now. Like it's like I don't do
And those
anything
stores are
bad.
everywhere now.
Yeah.
It's so easy. My God. Yes, no, that is a great point, Jag. Yeah. For myself, if I go to a gas station, I make sure I park in a specific way so that I feel like I've got eyes all around me. There's light all around me. No one can sneak up behind me. Also, I think because you said like something gas station wise, it just had me thinking. I got hit on at a gas station and very recently. Please, men, do not hit on women at a gas station. We are at our most vulnerable, and we are the most likely to tell you to just, before you even say anything, even if you're like, you genuinely have a question or you're saying like, oh, your taillight's out, I will just turn around and tell you to fuck right off because there is no chance I'm talking to you at a gas station.
100%.
I don't want to get trafficked. Don't put me in a trunk.
I'm going to make
all that.
a slight amendment to that. Men, just don't approach women. Just leave them alone.
Never do it again.
There's a time and spot, and that's like
Yes.
when they like look at you and like look like they want you to talk to them. It's actually
If we look at you and smile.
Let them come to you. That's how I do it, and I've never been more alone.
I'm showing my southern roots. Like, you guys tap in. If you're from the South and sometimes Midwest, gas station culture, that's a lifestyle, man. That is a fucking lifestyle. Like going to a Buc-ee's, like what gas station do you like food from? I talk to people in Colorado about that. They're like, what are you talking about gas station food? I'm like, buddy, you haven't the gas station
been to
food.
Wawa?
Yeah, dude. People eating out of 7-Eleven. I'm like, that's space food, dog. Like that. Like, I have a girl at this gas station. She peppers them chicken tenders with her own cigarette. You can't get love like that.
That's flavor you just can't replicate at home.
You can't. You ain't getting that up north,
It's a
y'all.
level
You
of
ain't getting
smoky flavoring. You can't.
Menthol chicken tenders.
so good, dog.
They're
Just like
addictive.
mom used to make.
We've gone off the rails, and I don't know how to get back.
We're done. This show's gone off the rails. We're
show's
done.
gone off the
We're
rails.
done.
Is there-
Sam. Sign
is
us
there-
off.
I was gonna say, is there anything that we haven't mentioned that you guys saw that you were like happy to see, or just so disappointed with, or something that you're kind of excited for going into the finale?
More Marshawn Lynch. He's fucking hilarious.
He is
No
hilarious.
Bishop this episode, which I was a little
Oh, yeah,
shocked
Will
by.
Bishop. Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to be. I don't know. I don't want to get my expectations up. I was gonna say, I wonder if that's gonna be a thing where we see Bishop doing like some
Moving in
some
the
like
background.
ninja shit at the end, where like this was the plan the whole time, and Alamo like blows a fucking cigar smoke at someone's head, and then everyone lives, and then like Rue goes to Texas and becomes like joins a cult or some shit. I don't know.
That is the next step for Rue. It feels like to join a cult.
It feels cult is right there. It's got to be.
It's like she's like, if I just have someone that's just like, this group is exactly where you're at. She'd be like, cool, put me in the car. I'll drive the van. Like, oh God, cough.
Oh my
Any
God.
last thoughts on this episode?
She gets to the Texas homestead, and it turns out that was just a trafficking ring. Like, all the children aren't their children.
Yes, that would also fit for Rue. But yeah, cough. Anything from this episode that you're like need to get your thoughts and feelings out about right now?
No, let's just end this. I'm over this episode and this show. I'm glad it's ending next week.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's been a marathon and not one where I'm going to be like, I finished a marathon. I'll be like, yeah, I was there for season 3 of Euphoria, but, and now it's over. Anyways, with that, thanks for tuning in to this latest episode of Unbinged. Make sure you tune in next week for when we cover Euphoria's finale. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, tune in for all the amazing content that we're bringing to you for the rest of the shows. Widow's Bay is absolutely on fire. Your Friends and Neighbors is heating up as well. Let us know if you want us to cover Cape Fear. And of course, we've got House of Dragon coming soon. So make sure you like, subscribe, and tune in for everything else we've got to bring to you Unbinged. So talk to you guys next week.